What's good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a discussion video revolving around, as the title said, Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Red Eyes Darkness Metal here, he has recently got an errata. So that means that he's no longer a soft once per turn, he is a hard once per turn. And that means that no more like banishing him, sending him to the graveyard, bringing him back, all that is still possible, but you're not going to be able to Monster Reborn with him. So a lot of my commenters and my subs have asked me, is Red Eyes Darkness Metal still worth it? And I know they're asking for the Crusadia strategy. So before we jump into that and jump into the reasons why it had to be errated and strategies and stuff like that, continuing forward, go ahead, guys, and check down our sponsors down in the description below. OPHIDIAN Games and Accessories, Imperium Duelist for these awesome sleeves. I use Imperium Duelist sleeves on everything. Check them out. Also, if you guys want to join the Crusade, hit that join button, get some awesome rewards and awesome benefits to them. And also, guys, coming up, I do have 3D printed Equimax Field Centers that'll be for sale in the link in the description below. So if you guys want to get your own, hop down there and get it. They're only limited quantity, so until we start the second run of them. So do take that into consideration. And I do believe the second run will be a different color. I think the main color we chose was blue for lore-wise. We got to keep lore-friendly. But the second run, I don't know what color it will be yet. Still deciding. Could be red, could be white. Might do white so you guys can paint it. But anywho, into the conversation of why we're here. Red Eyes Darkness Metal. So this card has been limited to 1 for quite some time, actually. It has been used in Dragon Spam. It's just been around. It's always been kind of a problematic card. Or, you know, like if there was a dragon deck out there that could bring this card out, such as Hieratics, it did it, and it did it well. Now the problem that erupted within the last year was the fact that Guard Dragon LP existed, and Guard Dragon LP just lets you summon this monstrosity here, this beast, from your deck. And then you got a Monster Reborn with it, and then you had the ability to loop it with Pisty, so then you got 2 Monster Reborns out of it. So it just really made some very degenerate Skull Dread plays, is the best way I know how to put it. This card was not by any means making like anything super busted. It was just essentially it gave decks that could play Guard Dragons access to 2 Skull Dreads without using hand resources or anything like that. So for all my Crusaders out there, Red MD, with it being errated, what's my opinion of it? Yes, you still need to play this card. Brotar, Sephret, they all don't even like. So when you sit down and look at it statistically and mathematically, this card gets you a Skull Dread without using any card from your hands or your graveyard. Because as far as Crusadia goes, Crusadia does not play from the graveyard. It doesn't play from the banished. It's not, you know, the graveyard's not its second hand. Its hand is its hand. So every card in your hand matters when you try to push for that ending board. So by playing Brotar, you are discarding a card, getting the white dragon, but you're still -1 in card advantage in that hand. You're not going to be able to replace that card back. And if I remember right, I think the one time that I statistically did it, you might be able to, depending on the cards, but I think maybe, very bad at math, guys. I go for the Holy Land, not for my math degree. You might be able to get the card advantage back with the Skull Dread, but the Skull Dread is supposed to give you a +1, so then you're beating the entire point of the Skull Dread. The point of it is that this card here beats Brotar because this card practically comes out, Monster Reborns, any monster, you know, Reborn's a dragon, I shouldn't say any monster, that's in your graveyard, that gives you a free Skull Dread. Now the reason why, what this card did was, now Pisty is not that good anymore because Pisty brings this out, and you still have to have the ability to get an extender and summon it. And that's not too good because that, again, is depleting hand resources for the Crusadia strategy that it has. Now, if you're playing Rockets, if you're playing, you know, Dragoonity, because Dragoonity did get some pretty good cards. I actually might pick up Dragoonity as long as the synchros don't jump through the roof. But outside of that, for the Crusadia route, yes, you need the hand advantage. This guy just gives you a free Skull Dread. And on like the follow-up turn, I found you bring this guy back with like Succession that you search, and then this guy brings back the Skull Dread, and you can just plow for game. I mean, they're both 28. That's some 56, I believe. Don't quote me on it. So yeah, Red MD had to get answered though, because if you know in the OCG, the TCG and OCG are 2 separate formats. However, we do pick and share from each other in some aspects. I believe LP is banned over there, so everyone was going to, everyone's like, LP's time's coming, and everyone said the same thing about Skull Dread, but Skull Dread's still here. But LP's time's coming, and LP, I don't believe LP deserves to get hit. I believe LP is a fair, no, I shouldn't say fair. I believe LP is fair to the extent of what it can summon. LP is broken when it can summon out a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon that's not a hard once per turn, and you can make 2 Skull Dreads from that one LP. So that's pretty busted. But LP in itself, LP is, that's not fair. It requires a Link Zone. It locks you in the dragons. It is susceptible to every hand trap that is in the existence of the game. Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Impermanence. You name it, it can hit it and it can stop it. So Konami and OCG Land hit this card. So that pretty much said that the TCG was probably going to follow suit, but there's no need to. The Guard Dragon days of like Agrippane's over. The deck really fell off unless you have those devout Dragon-esque players like me who play the Guard Dragon package because I love combo womboing off, or the Rocket variants. Like the deck really, LP didn't really deserve it, but something has to be in check because of the Dragon support that's coming out, and because Dragons just are a super powerful archetype within Yu-Gi-Oh! For some reason, the Konami's like, every good card, go to Dragons, and Warriors. So that's why Red MD had to get errated. If it didn't get errated, LP would have to go. But now that this is errated, the card pool that LP can summon out now is, as long as they don't give any more busted dragons by any means, the card pool that LP can summon out is, for the most part, majority fair. Like I said, Brotar, if you summon out Brotar through LP, Brotar requires a discard. It can be ashed, and then you lose a card. But like I said, in Crusadia Guard Dragon, Red MD is still the way to go. Some of my subscribers have said that you can still push for 2 Skull Dreads in it, even though with the Red MD errated. That is true, but again, you're using a resource from your hand, and then that second Skull Dread will just replace the resource that you use, so you still don't have the advantage that you have. With that being said, Red MD had to get errated. I don't know how this affects other strategies. I do know that Rocket Link, however, Rocket Link was using like the Black Metal Dragon, which is like the card that can search this guy or search any Red Eyes card. They were using that card to bring out, because Rocket Link does not need to make a Skull Dread. Rocket Link can just do its thing. So this right here is just a part of the combo. But for the most part, Red MD had to get hit. It had to get touched in some way, otherwise we were going to lose LP. So to me, it seems like Konami TCG was like, hey, if we don't answer this card, we're going to have to hit it eventually. But if we hit the Guard Dragon LP over here, we lose a majority of, a lot of decks die to this. Now, given Konami has never gave a crap about anything like that, so Konami would hit it regardless. Konami would, but maybe this one time Konami is like, all right, we need to keep this card in here. This card's not broken. The cards that it summons broken. So hopefully Konami will continue to do good changes like this. And again, I could be completely wrong. Konami could just wholeheartedly smack the deck in the next ban list and just ban LP. You never know. Konami is a very unpredictable organization when it comes to that stuff. They do so well sometimes and they do awful at other times. However, Red MD, still play in your Crusadias. 1 Skull Dread, still pretty good. Drawing 4 fresh cards, still pretty busted. 2800 body, a Chungus is not to laugh at. Also do take note that it doesn't allow, we don't play from the hand. However, if you're playing Rocket Link, if you're playing any other Guard Dragon variant out there, you might want to move maybe to summoning maybe you don't need to make the Skull Dread when you make the Red MD, so you can play like Black Dragon and search it out. You can play Brotar if you need it separate. However, it was a necessary errata that had to come. However, that doesn't mean the card is bad. Anyone out here who's going to tell you that this card is bad now because it's errated is completely wrong. Monster Reborn is at 1, and Monster Reborn reborns any monster, and it's not bad. This card reborns any dragon monster, and it's pivotal to a combo that reviles around dragons. It's not bad. So just keep that in mind, guys. Please comment down below what you guys think. Please, comment, like, subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more discussions, I do have another sideline video that I think is going to go up here shortly. I think it's going to cover Eldritch because I think the one that I produced Monday covered at Emancipators. So do stay tuned for that. And also, guys, remember, go down the link in the description below if you guys didn't like that commercial that was in the middle here and get your 3D printed while quantities last. 3D printed Equimax Field Center. So this is Charles and Team COG, signing out.